Thank you for your interest in the Commission of the Study of Ministries report and the legislation to General Conference 2016. I'm Bishop Grant Hagia, and I have the honor to chair the Study of Ministry Commission, working with 15 others from around the United Methodist Connection to pray, discuss, and discern these recommendations placed before the General Conference. The 2012 General Conference charged the Study of Ministry Commission with work that included developing a better understanding of the nature and the grounding of the elder, recommending how we can strengthen clergy education, including the course of study and seminary, and providing clarity regarding our church's understanding of the theology of ministry. This report and legislation that follow include recommendations related to these areas, as well as suggestions for how the Study of Ministry Commission may continue its work into the future. This presentation outlines the major recommendations of the Commission's work and provides the rationale for each recommendation. At the heart of the Commission's work was our commitment to covenant together. We sought God's leading in our deliberations, opened ourselves to hearing new ideas, trusting one another, and committing to holy conferencing. While the Commission had time to develop a thorough understanding of our recommendations and consider them from many different perspectives, we know that there will be many questions and ideas to consider as General Conference delegates study this report and make decisions about its legislation. Commission members are available to respond to your questions or to meet with your delegations for more in-depth conversation. A list of members is included with this presentation, and we invite you to contact us at ministrystudy@gbhem.org. If you would like to schedule a time for one of the Commission members to talk with your delegation, please contact us. Please visit us at www.ministrystudy.org to see the full report, our proposed legislation, and responses to some of the frequently asked questions. Our United Methodist Church is clear about its stated mission and is challenged today to make significant changes in order to continue fulfilling that mission. Through this report, the Commission joins with many others in hoping for a dynamic, Spirit-led church. We have offered paths to strengthen leadership so the church will be responsive and adaptive in making disciples of Jesus Christ who love and transform a richly diverse and ever-changing world. Thank you for your considerations and prayerful deliberations over this report and its recommendations.
Honesty is the best policy. We realize that there have been ministry study commissions at least for the last 60 years. We continue this work because the nature and grounding of ministry in our world is ever evolving, and we must evolve too. The mandates before us are full of challenges that do not always have clear-cut solutions. However, we are clear about this one thing. Ministry study commissions themselves do not make disciples of Jesus Christ. Communities of faith do. Our role is to create pathways to prepare, deploy, and equip leaders throughout the world.
The 2012 General Conference charged this commission with a variety of tasks, including these three. First, develop a better understanding of the nature and grounding of the elder. Second, reviewing, assessing, and creating flexibility around theological education, including course of study and seminary. And three, providing a greater sense of clarity of our church's overall theology of ministry. In response to these tasks, this commission joins the chorus of resounding voices around our denomination that hope and work for a more dynamic, adaptable, and Spirit-led church. These proposals are complex and multi-layered. Even still, we have worked diligently to offer paths to strengthen leadership. Understanding the interconnectivity of these proposals is critical as you consider the entire report. It is time that we give the church adaptable processes to support and train clergy leaders who will love and transform an ever-changing world.
Why does all of this matter right now? The Commission is clear in this sense of urgency. In our exploration and study, we found that our practice of ministry does not always align with our theology of ministry. We found that often we do not deploy principled, credentialed, and equipped leaders in such a way that they can thrive and fulfill the mission. We've also discovered that we do not adequately support and hold our leaders accountable for fruitful, lifelong clergy ministry. All of this diminishes a faithful witness in our world. And we, the United Methodist Church, are called to be better. We can do this. Urgency is key.
So what are we truly trying to accomplish? Here's an overview of the recommendations that we hope will have the most impact. First, we must face the realities of our world and of our lives and provide maximum adaptability and flexibility to prepare, deploy, and equip leaders to make disciples of Jesus Christ and transform the world. Our church can no longer afford for the words adaptability and flexibility to be buzzwords that we toss around. Instead, we must design flexible and adaptable processes, not for the sake of the institution, but because they can help us remove barriers that keep us from being able to lead people to Jesus Christ.
What's important? Commission members were forced to get clear about what is most important. This was not easy. We did not always agree on the nuts and bolts of the way forward, but we do agree that we must seek new ways to provide local congregations creative, spiritually grounded clergy leaders who are well equipped to lead communities and congregations in their mission.
Keeping in mind our General Conference 2012 charge and our need for adaptable and flexible ministry practices, we propose the following ways to move faithfully forward. Deepen our theology of ministry. We must deepen and clarify our theology of ministry. As a church, we understand that all ministry is a gift of the Holy Spirit. Lay, licensed, and ordained ministry is grounded in baptism and nourished by Holy Communion. The legislation proposed seeks to 1. Clarify our theology of ordained ministry, and 2. Clarify the relationship between ordination and the sacraments. Also, we have tried to better explain the roles and responsibilities of elders, deacons, and local pastors. This includes the understanding that individuals respond to a call to ministry, and the community confirms that call.
We must increase flexibility in leadership preparation. We must broaden the paths to ordained ministry and collaborate throughout the church to provide the best theological education possible for our clergy leaders. To this end, the proposed legislation seeks to 1. Remove the age restrictions for local pastors pursuing provisional membership. 2. Encourage growing collaboration and new partnerships for theological education. We are not implying that master's level seminary education is no longer important to the United Methodist Church. We are, however, making a clear statement that creative, spiritually grounded leaders come with a variety of different valuable educational experiences.
Leadership and ordination. The ways in which we understand leadership and ordination are key. Quite frankly, our current ordination process can be a deterrent for creative, spiritually grounded leaders who have unique gifts for ministry. We must acknowledge that our current ordination process is cumbersome and challenging. We must find more generative ways to support candidates from inquiry to ordained ministry and from provisional membership to full membership. The proposed legislation in this area seeks to reshape the ordination process. We recommend that conferences ordain candidates at the completion of educational requirements and elect them to provisional membership for a minimum of 2 years. Currently, we deploy candidates to do the work of the ordained, but delay ordination until much later in the process. This is not necessary and often creates significant confusion. Commissioning is confusing to congregations, clergy, and our ecumenical partners. It also creates challenges around sacraments and leadership. We realize this proposal creates anxiety. Some have called this proposal early ordination and feel that boards of ordained ministry will not know candidates well enough to recommend them for ordination. However, in our current ordination process, we commission candidates and deploy them into local churches for lifelong ordained ministry with relatively short relationship to the boards of ordained ministry. Further, data shows that we do not exit many candidates from the process during the provisional period. We cannot allow the exception to become the rule. Although we credential local pastors, we do so out of missional need and urgency. For candidates called to ordination, however, we must send them into the mission field fully equipped and fully credentialed. This proposal authorizes clergy through ordination to do the work of the ordained, while allowing for ongoing formation and continued evaluation before full membership. Clergy formation is an ongoing process. It does not culminate at ordination or in conference membership.
Leadership support and development. People serving in leadership positions need to engage in lifelong learning and development. Our church needs to offer means of ongoing support of clergy formation, while our clergy need to commit to lifelong learning and development. The proposed legislation seeks to strengthen lifelong learning and coaching opportunities and develop better assessment processes. We must provide ways for strong support and expectations of accountability among clergy.
The most important conversation we've heard has been questioning the proposal to shift the ordination timeline. Some have said that this current proposal is simply submitting previous legislation to be considered again. This issue is bigger than the timing of ordination. The entire timeline requires an overhaul. We are proposing a complete reshaping of our process, from education to ordination to lifelong learning and support. Each piece is tied together, and the whole is what makes the difference.
The full report, along with the legislation and the discussion of the frequently asked questions, are posted at ministrystudy.org.
Thank you. We invite you to contact Ministry Study at gbhem.org if you'd like to schedule a time for one of the commission members to talk with your delegation.
Remember, it's time to give the church flexible and adaptive ways to educate, credential, support, and hold accountable called, creative, spiritually grounded clergy leaders. Remember your baptism and be thankful.